Should you consider investing in suburban Philadelphia? What about that county immediately to the west called Delaware County? Now, if you're not from the Philadelphia area, you may think that confining your investment criteria to the Philadelphia city limits or Philadelphia County makes perfect sense. You may wonder, is there the same level of demand for renting versus owning in the suburbs? And you're not sure about what the returns will be. So in today's video, I'm going to show you a few towns where smart investors look for deals where they can attract long-term tenants that want that balance between taking advantage of all the city has to offer, as well as being able to come back home to more small town feel and space. So Delaware County, or Delco as the locals call it very strongly. There's Delco strong. You know, if you go down in this area, you will see the flags. Offers what I call the trifecta of cash flow, appreciation, and a more landlord-friendly environment. Before I jump into talking about the opportunity to invest in Delaware County, let me introduce myself or welcome you back to the Real Estate Wisdom channel. I'm Veronica Woods, the host of this channel, where I provide real estate market updates about Philadelphia County and suburban Delaware County. I also provide tips about how to build and maintain a profitable rental property portfolio, because after all, everybody cares about cash flow. So if you want to reach out and talk to me about your personal situation, whether you're just beginning investing, whether you're an out-of-town investor and trying to figure out who your team should possibly be in Philadelphia, all my contact info is below this video. I welcome the call or the schedule an appointment to chat further. You can see here on this map that Delaware County is immediately west of Philadelphia. It also borders Delaware to the south, and over the river, Delaware River, you will see New Jersey. So if I kind of zoom in a little bit, we'll be talking about the towns here with the yellow marker shortly. But overall, the towns that are immediately to the east, the eastern and southern border of Delaware County tend to be the more mature communities with the older housing, and where the most recent new construction has been more in this western end of Delaware County, western and northern end. So that's just something to think about in terms of if you're investing in this part of Delaware County, it's definitely probably going to be an older house. In fact, about 60% of the homes across Delaware County were built prior to 1960. Another status, Delaware County has two different housing authorities, one specifically for the city of Chester, and the other one services the other townships across Delaware County. As far as stats for Delaware County, the median sales price was $230,000 if we look at May year-to-date 2024, which represented an 11.5% increase of price year over year. And also impressive, the 8 days on market. So definitely the market is moving fast in Delaware County. Now, if we were talking about the rental market for Delaware County also has been quite healthy. This slide just shows the trend from 2017 to May of 2024. And you can see the Delaware County is represented by the blue line, and the black line is Philadelphia County. So you can see that they're relatively running in tandem, but around 2021, it looks like the Delaware County rents started to increase a little bit faster, outpacing Philadelphia by May year to date. And if you want to kind of look at the breakdown of the distribution of rents, and these are 3-bedroom rents you're looking at, and these stats come from Rent-A-Meter. So the median rent is $1,600, but you can see the middle 50% of rents are between $1,390 and $2,230. So that kind of gives you an idea of the potential gross rents in Delaware County. So if you're thinking about investing in the Philadelphia area, why is Delaware County an attractive option? Here are a few reasons to consider Delaware County. One, it is a really good in terms of public transit for the suburbs. So not only does it have a pretty robust public transit system where you could get to Center City, Philadelphia by bus or regional railway, you also have a lot of access to the major roadways that can get you to Delaware or New Jersey within 30 minutes or less, depending on where you're situated. Second, Delaware County is relatively landlord friendly. So in contrast to Philadelphia, it is definitely more landlord friendly than Philadelphia, just because of some of the processes that have been in place over recent years. As far as mediation, you can get a tenant out of your property months quicker in the suburbs versus Philadelphia. And that's kind of like a generalized statement. But that's what makes Delaware County a little bit more landlord friendly than Philadelphia. Third, as far as just the region, you can also find affordable entry points as far as pricing to get in the property, and that be it a multifamily or a single family, especially if you're comparing numbers from the New York or even over the river in New Jersey. So that again makes Delaware County an attractive place maybe to make your first investment. And lastly, I would say there's a demand for more smaller housing units in terms of lower than three bedroom single family homes in Delaware County. So you would be helping to satisfy a demand. There was a recent housing coalition that talked about just in terms of the affordability issue in the area, and they were hoping to attract more developers that will want to build more townhouses, build more small multifamily living, so that more people can afford and have options to buy or to rent 1 and 2 bedroom units. So everybody can't afford to rent, or everybody can't afford to buy a single family home. Everybody can't afford to rent a single family home. And as investors, we're part of the solution in solving that problem. And then just in terms of how much multifamily opportunity is in Delaware County right now, roughly about 25% of the housing stock is multifamily. And then went back to the map, it is clustered around those mature communities where those opportunities are. So that's just kind of Delaware County at a high level. Now let's jump into where I see some of the biggest opportunities for investors right now. So we're going to look at the 4 towns that made the cut from the latest Zillow home value forecast for 2024 that ranked the top 15 zip codes in the Philadelphia metro area for appreciation. So out of that list of 15, there were 4 towns from Delaware County, and we're going to look at them right now. Fourth on the list, or ranked 14 overall, was Sharon Hill, with a forecasted appreciation for 2024 of 3.4%. Sharon Hill has a price to rent ratio of roughly 8.6, and that's based off a median 3-bedroom rent at $1,760 and a median sales price of $180,500. Now, things to consider for as an investor is Sharon Hill zip code is actually across 2 municipalities. Part is Darby Township and the other is Sharon Hill Borough. And this is significant because depending on where the property is located, you'll have different L&I requirements, different fees. So it's just important to know where your property is. Number 13 on the list was Chester at roughly about 3.4% appreciation. Now, the price to rent ratio for Chester is actually the lowest of the 4 towns I'm going to highlight on this video, with roughly 6.2 price to rent ratio. And I talked about price to rent ratio on other videos. So anything below 15 is considered good for cash flow. So all these areas make that cut of having that quick metric of price to rent ratio below 15. So the median 3-bedroom rent in Chester is $1,550. Median sales price $115,000. So the things to consider for investors in Chester: one, is the lowest entry point in terms of price. It also has the highest percent of renters. So 65% of Chester residents actually rent their homes, which is part of the reason why there's a whole housing authority, affordable housing authority just devoted to Chester. It also is actually the most expensive rental license right now. They increased their prices in 2024 to $200 per unit. And I have a whole video, boots on the ground tour of Chester, so you want to check that out for more information about investing in Chester. Next, we have Collindale, which ranked 6 on the list, with a 3.7% appreciation forecasted. The price to rent ratio of 8.8. Median 3-bedroom rent $1,800. Median sales price $190,000. The thing to look out for investors: this, out of the 4 zip codes, this one actually has the highest median rent rate. And lastly, I point out Upper Darby, which ranked at 3rd on that list of top 15 towns at 3.8% forecasted price appreciation by the end of the year. The price to rent ratio is 9.1 in Upper Darby. The median, that's based on the median 3-bedroom rent of $1,750 and median sales price of $190,000. The thing to consider for investors: one, just point out Upper Darby is one of the most culturally diverse towns in Delco. There's actually 80 different languages spoken, so there's a highly populated immigrant communities within Upper Darby. The other bad guy, the bad guy about Upper Darby is the taxes. So it's known for having some of the highest taxes in the county. So when you're forecasting your income, you have to think about taxes in the equation a little bit more seriously. Now, before I wrap up, you may be wondering, what were the top 2 zip codes from that list? So the number 1 zip code was one in Camden, 08104, and the second ranked zip code was 19132 in Philadelphia, and it's kind of in the Allegheny West Strawberry Mansion area. Now, if you want to watch more videos that have kind of a boots on the ground perspective within Delaware County, you'll want to watch one of the videos that's appearing on the screen now. And as always, thanks for watching. Happy investing.